Hi, and welcome to my channel, Rolling into Retirement. I'm Mike. Thanks for joining me on this journey. I appreciate you being here. Today I thought I would do another short video talking about some of the people on YouTube anyway that I like to listen to for gaming and game mastering advice. Ready? Let's go. Now you may not be aware of it, but amazingly I'm not the only person on YouTube that talks about RPGs. I know that's starting off the video with a pretty shocking statement, so just try to remain calm. I'm joking, of course. The reason behind this video is that I could talk a little bit about the various YouTube channels that have helped me with my DM or GM questions over the last few years. To be honest, I wish I had access to these resources earlier in my days of running games. It would probably have saved me from making a lot of the mistakes I've made over the years. Sometimes the best or only way I learn is by making those mistakes, so maybe it was all the best in the long run. Now I'm going to list just a few of the channels that I have followed for the longest, and I'll provide links to them and tell you a little bit about what I like about each one of them. There are so many more great channels that I could list, and I wouldn't mind putting together another short video in the future if there is some interest. I'd encourage anyone to check out these channels as they offer a really interesting perspective on this hobby that we love so much. So let's start with one of my favorite GM DM soothsayers, Matt Colville. The link to his channel, along with links to all the other channels that I'm going to be talking about, will be in the video description. So Matt's Running the Game series is an excellent deep dive into the various parts of being a DM or GM from someone who has been running games for years, but has also designed video games and now has his own fantasy RPG through his company MCDM. I like Matt's down-to-earth, relatable presentation style and his deep knowledge of the RPG hobby as a whole. If I had to pick a place to start learning about the role of being a DM or GM, his channel would be the one I would recommend. Since I'm a sci-fi horror game DM/GM for the most part these days, I would recommend that you take a look at Seth Skorskowski's channel for reviews and game philosophy tips. He has a really unique perspective as a writer and longtime DM or GM. The thing I really like about Seth's approach is his great sense of humor, wonderful mix of RPG storytelling, in-depth and detailed reviews of the various systems, and adventures, and of course his Jack the NPC. If you haven't seen it, I would also recommend his video on the Scott Brown incident. I'll provide a link to that as well. I think that's one of the funniest things I've seen. If you are mostly into old school Renaissance or revival, if you like that term better, games, I would highly recommend that you check out Ben at Questing Beast. He has such a wonderful delivery style, a really in-depth knowledge of the OSR systems and history, and has even designed his own game based upon his knowledge. I also like the fact that he isn't above covering other games that don't fit neatly into what he normally talks about on the channel. I think that's pretty cool. So Justin Alexander is actually a lot more than just a YouTube personality. I first ran across him from his blog website called simply The Alexandrian. He has such an encyclopedic knowledge of just a variety of systems and is able to speak to the listener in a really authoritative tone that I feel compelled to listen to whenever he drops a new video. The Alexandrian website is such a great source of ideas, thoughts, tips and tricks, and other tidbits that I would recommend any new or old DM or GM have this bookmarked. You just never know what little tidbit of knowledge he throws down that you may find useful at your table in the future. Justin also has written a book called So You Want to Be a Game Master. To me, it directed towards newer DMs or GMs more than the veteran ones, but I bought it for two reasons. First, I wanted to support him in his book writing, and second, because I knew I would find little bits of information included in the book that would help me run better games. I was right. I ran across Dave's channel only a few years ago, but I'm very happy with this content. He does great reviews of a variety of game systems and provides some real context for why he thinks of the system the way he does. I'm a subscriber to his channel, and I would recommend that anyone looking at different game systems to check him out as well. A smaller channel that I absolutely love is Captain Courageous. He mostly sticks to D&D, but he does venture out of that zone from time to time. He does old school RPG reviews as well as reviews of old school modules and even some dungeon terrain. I really like his efficient presentation style and his detail. If you want to know a lot more about the early days of the hobby, I would definitely recommend his channel. So, I didn't want to make this video too long, as I wanted to focus on some of the creators that I listen to the most. I'm hopeful that some of these links help you get more into the hobby, whether you're a DM, GM, or just a player. As always, thanks for listening. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Take care.